What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. How are y'all feeling? As always, we're here to talk Chicago sports. This is Windy City DeBreeze. This is Pat and the people. I am Pat. Y'all are the people. I got a question for you. Ringo on the live. What's good, baby? What it do, baby? Hey, that's the best thing to come out of the NBA Finals, real talk. What it do, baby? Ringo on the live. We appreciate you for joining, bro. So I got a question. Are the Chicago Bulls building a championship roster? Or are they building another feel-good roster? And you may ask what I mean by a feel-good roster. Listen, the Bulls are amazing when it comes to building one kind of roster, right? When it comes to building one kind of roster. Sebi in the live, Sebi podcast. What's good, Brody? Representing Florida. The Bulls are really good at building one kind of roster, right? The Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Joakim Noah. Everybody gets behind them. These are my favorite teams. I love these Bulls. They never win. Now, a little different with that team because I believe if Derrick doesn't get hurt, your team might end up winning something. But so a little different with that team, but take it back one generation further. The Kirk Hinrich Bulls. Kirk Hinrich, Ben Gordon, Tyson Chandler, Tyrus Thomas. Are the Bulls here building championship rosters? Or are they building another feel-good roster? Because listen, I didn't realize I was in the minority. First off, well, let's start there. I didn't realize I was in the minority when it came to the Ben Gordon Bulls. I didn't know Muggs was rocking with Ben Gordon like that. And I'm talking about Muggs rocking heavy with Ben Gordon. Like he was hooping in Chicago. They love some Ben Gordon Bulls, boy. I'm not rocking with him. Sebi said he just came back from the BET Awards in LA and the NBA Awards. Hey, that's what's up, Brody. You living it up. I appreciate it. Are the Bulls building a championship roster? Are they building another feel-good team? Kobe White, could he be something? Could he be the best point guard in this draft? Absolutely. Absolutely. Does he have the talent offensively to be? Absolutely, especially in this NBA. The Chicago Bulls could have one of the best point guard, if not the best point guard in this draft. It's to be seen. Ja Morant looks like he's going to be a point guard. A point guard. Come on, son. Oh, my God. Darius Garland looks like he's got a lot of talent, but you kind of matched him up with Colin Sexton. They're basically the same dude. So are the Bulls just building another feel-good team, or is this a championship team in the making? There's one thing that the Bulls did, and I will give them credit for. There is one thing the Chicago Bulls did, and it showed me that it's what big boy teams do. It's what big market teams do. They don't fall in love with the Bobby Portises. You know why? Because you go and draft another Bobby Portis in the second round. That's all Darius Garland is. And maybe he's got a little more upside. He looks like he's a little more athletic than Bobby. That's what big name teams do. So they're doing things somewhat right with this draft alone. I like Larry Markkinen. I like Wendell Carter Jr. I like Zach LaVine. I don't love any of these guys, though. Are they building a championship team? Or are they building a team that's still 2 or 3 stars away from being that? Are they building another feel-good team? Are they building a team that, listen, we're going to enjoy them. We're going to love them. This is going to be the team that kids idolize. You know, like this. I remember my Chicago Bulls when I grew up. Yeah, but they didn't win. Is that what we're going to do again? We're going to be getting on the booze cruise? Is that what we're doing again? Ringo, Darius Garland is better than Colin Sexton right now. But they the same dude. So what? They're both going to play at the same time? No, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're both going to play at the exact same time. They're the same dude. So, in my opinion, this feels like another feel-good team. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to enjoy the ride, and I'm going to cheer my heart out. Like I said before on the last live, we die hard here in Chicago for our Bulls. We die hard. When it comes to our sports teams, we die hard. Do I think that this team can't be successful? That's a false statement. I think you're moving into the modern era. I'm a little concerned about Jim Boylen. A little bit concerned about Jim Boylen, but I think as a team, you're moving into the modern era. You've got a point guard who can not only shoot the ball, but is fast. Now, a lot of people are saying they're worried about Kobe White distributing. And listen, I was not a big – I like what I saw from Kobe White in the highlights, but a lot of people kind of persuaded me off of the Kobe White thing. I'm back on. 6'5", listen, he's a big kid. He's quick. He can make plays. Is he going to beat out Chris Dunn for the starting position? Probably. So now the question is, how does he get the rest of his team involved? Zach LaVine, listen, if you can get Kobe White to get the rest of his team involved, to be a facilitator on his team, not just a scorer, to be a better defender than he's projected to be, listen, the Bulls got something in that kid. He can score that ball. And what is this NBA? Everybody's like, oh, they don't have defense. They don't have, they don't have what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, they're not slowing the pace down. And this is the wrong NBA. That's the wrong NBA. The NBA is 10, 15 years ago. That NBA is 10, 15 years ago. This NBA, you got to be able to shoot that thing. You got to be able to shoot that thing. Bear down and alive, just laughing. How you feel about it, bear down? Bear down. Bear down is like roll tide. If you see somebody in the street, just be like, bear down, bear down. You know what I'm saying? Bear down, bear down. I got you. For those of you outside of Chicago, bear down is like roll tide. Somebody say roll tide, roll tide. Bear down, bear down. How do y'all feel, man? Are the Bulls building a championship team? Are they building that same feel-good team? Are we going to be talking about this team in 10, 15 years like, man, they got so close, they just didn't do it. They just didn't do it. Ringo, okay, you don't love Lowry. No, not yet. I think Lowry Markkanen can be great. I really do. I think I believe Lowry Markkanen can be better than what a lot of people feel for him. I think a lot of people feel he's a number 2. I think Lowry Markkanen could be your number 1 star, but he hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's shown it in flashes, but I'm talking about more than a month. We saw Nico have a month. Think about that. We saw Nico have a month. Now, Lowry's more consistent. Lowry plays better defense. Lowry is in there on the boards. Lowry's getting it. He's working. You know what I'm saying? He's working. He's not Nico. But I think he's better than what he's played as in the first 2 seasons. And I hope the third season brings us something. And Jim Boylen has to get him more involved. You have to figure out who your number 1 is as the Bulls. I don't think the Bulls know who their number 1 is right now. David Neal, Kobe White, you good catch and shoot. Numbers from 3. We should try to run the offense through Wendell more. Kind of like Denver uses Jokic. The entire starting 5 can shoot from 3. Running the offense through Wendell, I feel like that would slow things down. Jokic is a freak of nature. That's the first thing. I think Wendell's a scoring big man, scoring center for sure. I think he showed that. I think when he was healthy, when he was doing it, he was scoring better than Marvin Bagley. And he was still playing defense. You know what I'm saying? So are the Bulls building a championship roster with this team? I feel like they're not, but I want it to be. You know, I'm going to cheer for them. I'm going to root for them. But is it a championship roster? That's tough. And I'm not saying this year. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this year. I'm talking down the line. Now, like I said before, I like the way they're playing, how they're trading players, how they're getting rid of players, how they're bringing players in. Willie Parker in the live, what's good? They'll be in the draft next year. Well, every team will be in the draft next year. You saying they'll be high in the draft? I don't know how high they would be. I honestly feel like if Kobe White can catch up to the NBA quickly, they can be. I would honestly say they could be a playoff team this year, because you think about the big names that might not be in the East that are in the East this year. Even if Kevin Durant comes, he's not playing next season. Kawhi might leave. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he isn't, but he might leave. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie might come, but what team's he going to be on? Brooklyn? Is that what they're doing? The Brooklyn? I don't know. Kemba Walker might leave. So your top teams are still going to be your top teams, but it's going to be tough. Like, the Bulls are going to have to have another season like this year where they had injuries to not make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Five years down the road, are we talking about the Bulls as contenders? 2019-2020 season is coming up. In the 2024-2025 season, are we talking about the Bulls as contenders? David Neal. I agree he can play both ways. Yeah, he's great. I like Wendell. He's got to learn how to stay out of foul trouble. But I don't know if we should be running our offense. It's not that kind of league anymore. Willie Parker. They need to sign a veteran point guard and center. I agree. Honestly, I have no problem with if they had, I know they're not gonna, but I had no problem with them bringing back Robin. He's got to play off the bench though. But I have no problem with that. What's Robin? 30? Maybe? Robin's young. We look at Robin like he's an old man. Robin's actually pretty young. As far as a veteran point guard, I totally agree. I don't think they're going to be in any kind of race for Kemba Walker. I think there's some guys out there. I like the Patrick Beverly name. I like them bringing that up. But I'm talking, it's definitely not going to be this season. But 5 years down the road, are we talking about the Chicago Bulls as contenders for a championship again? Is this current young core right now a championship roster? Or are we just looking at another feel-good team? Let me know. It's Pat and the people. I'm Pat. Y'all are the people. I love the feel-good teams, but I want to win. I want championships. We ain't seen one since 98, I'm sorry. We need championships. Ringo, Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, what's he giving you, though? I agree he's a good point guard, definitely an above-average point guard. Gives you the three, kind of undersized for defense. If you're bringing him off the bench, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about – I like Terry Rozier, but you're going to have to pay Terry Rozier, too. You know he ain't taking a pay cut. Is Dennis Smith Jr. still on the market? He's a guy, you know – I'd rather have him. He's more of a facilitator to me. I don't know if he's still on the market, but I think there's gonna be some point guards out there that we're not paying attention to. I honestly think Seth Curry's on the table for the Bulls. I think he's somebody who's definitely on the Bulls' radar, because you know why? That's the kind of player the Bulls get. Oh, your brother's amazing. Let's go find you. Let's see if you can replicate that. Oh, you've been in the league how long? Let's see if you can be greater than what you are. That's such a Bulls pickup, ain't it? Baki Yazin. I still don't know how to say your name, bro. You in here every time we go live. I appreciate you, bro. Feel good. Another baby Bulls team core. That's tough. That's tough, man. If we're building another baby Bulls team, that's tough. Because what I said before, Chicago, what do? We die hard. We're going to get behind this team, right? We're going to hype him up. Next season. Let's talk about next season. I'm listening to the radio. They taking Bulls, or they taking bets on the Bulls to win over 35 games. I'm like, over 35 games? Must taking the over. What? So we die hard. We rock with our team. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be tough because of Gar. I'm not even saying Gar. I'm done saying Gar. John Paxson is picking players. Gar Forman is maybe scouting, maybe bringing stuff back, blah, 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 blah. John Paxson's picking the guys he wants. It's on John Paxson. You've been in the NBA. You played with Michael Jordan. You've seen the greatest talent there is. You got to be better. You got to be better. I forgot about Dennis Smith. Why would you want him though? I mean, he was rookie of the year, almost. Oh no, he wasn't rookie of the year, but he was in the running to be rookie of the year. And then Luka showed up. He was a top tier player in the NBA. Everybody was talking about him. Everybody was like, he balling his mind out. And I think with that, you free up a little room. Maybe Kobe plays the 2. Kobe said he's more of a 2. But he likes to create with the ball in his hand. Willie Parker. What about Steven Adams? Is Steven Adams leaving OKC? He seems like a staple. He seems like one of those guys. He seems like that. And what are you going to do with him? You going to bring him off the bench? Because you're not going to start him over Wendell at this point. You've committed yourself to Wendell. You've committed yourself to Wendell. And Steven Adams, at this point, you've got your young core, right? You've got your young core. You got the young guys you want. You're going to go find some veterans, but this is your core. These are your guys. Is this a championship roster? I don't know if Zach LaVine's the number 1 on this team right now, but you got to start. I think for this to be a championship roster, I think this team has talent, but for this to be a championship roster, you have to make the commitment to Lauri Markkanen being your number 1 because he is your conundrum on this team. He's the guy guys aren't going to be able to defend. He's the guy who's going to have big man on the post, hitting fadeaway jumpers. He's the guy that's going to have big man out at the three-point line, driving past them. He's getting stronger, dunking on guys. I mean, he's got to be your number 1. You have to make that commitment this year. Jim Boylan, John Paxson, Garfor, whoever's in there, the janitor, you got to make that commitment this year. And moving forward, Lauri Markkanen has to be your 1. Bakui Yasin. I'm throwing different names out there, bro. I want to get it right. I don't know. One day we're gonna have to break it down. At best, this team is the team that is gonna like the old Hawks with Jeff Teague, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Al Horford, just good enough to make the playoffs, but has no chance to win a title. That's really a fall off though. That's really a fall off. So you don't even see them reaching the heights that the Derrick Rose Bulls did. That's really a fall off. That means you're basically just playing to play. You're just playing to play. You're the underdog every year. That's really a drop off. Willie Parker, they have to build the bench up. I agree, but are we confident in our starters? Right now, even because the rookies, and I think they did build the bench a little bit. I like the Daniel Gafford pick. They're going to pick some guys up off waivers. You know, some guys are going to come up and down from the G League. I like that pick. So, right now your starting lineup is probably, on day 1, probably still Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter Jr., Lauri Markkanen, and Wendell Carter Jr. At some point, Kobe White's going to get in there. He's going to be the starter. I assume that's what they're going for here, unless Chris Dunn just starts blowing them out of the water. Can that young core be better than the Joe Johnson Atlanta Hawks? Who'd you say? Jeff Teague, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Al Horford. Can they be better than that? That is an interesting question, because that team never accomplished what we thought it was going to. That team never, and by the time the playoffs got here, we were all like, yeah, the Hawks going to play. Man, you going to, what, 6? Maybe 6? 4-2. They get them out of there. Well, they accomplished what the Derrick Rose Bulls did, getting to an Eastern Conference final, being a contender every single season, being the team that everybody was like, this is the team you got to watch out for. This is the team that could take down LeBron. They never did, of course. Tough times. But this is the team you got to watch out for. This is the team that can take you out. Every year they were saying that about the Chicago Bulls. And they were saying it because of defense, because of what Derrick Rose could do. Is that this team? Or will they do more? Will they win a title? In the next 5 years, will this team be in the finals? With the development of everybody, can this young core get you to an NBA Finals? The league's changing, man. You got Philly, who's constantly in flux in the Eastern Conference Final. I'm not saying win you an NBA Finals. I'm saying get there. You got Philly, who's constantly in flux. Constantly. Kemba Walker's probably going to stay in Charlotte because Michael Jordan could throw a lot of money at him. But at some point, maybe he gets traded. Does Kevin Durant come east? Does he stay in Golden State? Andre Iguodala. Hey, has anybody been following Andre Iguodala? Side note, real side note. Has anybody been following Andre Iguodala? Did he seem like his career's over? Because he is just spilling some stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Mark Jackson. Talk about New York. Y'all need to get it out of your head. Kevin, ain't nobody going to the Knicks. Like, he is dropping some gems this summer, ain't he? Zach LaVine and Larry Markkinen, they got to get more stronger. Well, stronger would be enough, but I guess more stronger would be the emphasis of stronger. They got to be the strongest. I think Lowry's bulked up pretty well in his time in the league. Last year, he looked like a man. See, this is the thing. On TV, it don't do him justice. Y'all got to go see this man at the game. That's a big boy. When you see Lowry sitting close, I think we had 100 level tick. That's a big boy. Lowry ain't small. LaVine's more of a finesse guy, but he can get to the bucket when he wants. You got the pieces on this team, but can they put it all together? And if they do, how far do they go? Because listen, let's be honest, a lot of teams got it put together, right? A lot of teams got it put together. We could argue the Bucks had it together. But they didn't have that shooter that they needed, right? We've got the shooter. We've got the guy who can dominate at the rim. Vernon Alive, what's good, baby? What they do, baby? I got to change that. I got to change that in my mind. What it do, baby? We've got the guy who can get to the rim whenever he wants, Zach LaVine. Listen, Otto Porter, when he's aggressive, and a lot of people have said it. A lot of people have said it. A lot of people, Bradley Beal, John Wall, a lot of people from the Wizards said Otto Porter, if he was more aggressive, he would be so much better. Last year we saw him be more aggressive, and listen, he looked like a guy who we didn't see in Washington. If Larry Markkinen is your number one, you got a guy who literally can hit a shot from any part of the floor, but you got to work through him. You have to work through him. The Bulls have to make that commitment. And then Wendell Carter Jr., a solid big man. Better than an Al Horford. His career will end better than an Al Horford. And Al Horford's had a solid career. But if Wendell can stay healthy, he's a better defender than Al Horford. I saw that last year. for fact. And the flashes on offense I saw, I don't think the Bulls knew he had that in him. So if he can stay healthy, he'll have a better career than Al Horford, in my opinion, because of the offensive setup. Al Horford really didn't start doing a lot of the things he did until later in his career. The three-point shooting, stretching the ball, you know what I'm saying? Like he could have definitely been better. If the league had been that way in the beginning, he definitely would have had better numbers than he has now. My opinion, no. Until the Bulls get rid of Garpax, they won't be successful. It's been time to bring in fresh people to make decisions. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. 16 years for Gar Forman and John Paxson now? 16 years, not a single championship, one Eastern Conference Finals. 16 years. To me, Bulls have a bunch of try-hard guys. It reminds me too much of the baby Bulls. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. But I'm not talking while they babies no more. Because, listen, when Derrick Rose got, are they still just a piece away? Maybe they're a piece away. And maybe how the new draft is, they find their guy. How that new draft is set up, maybe they do go find their guy. Maybe they get a Lakers pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got LeBron, you won 40-something games, 30-something games, and then you get the fourth pick in the draft. You never know. You never know. So are they still a piece away? Are they still a piece away? I'd say yes. But I haven't seen Kobe White or Darius Garland play. But at this point right now, I'd still say yes. You've got 5 shooters, though. You're building the team the right way. The one thing I can't hate on Gar Forman and John. Well, I can't hate on John Paxson for this. We give Forman a lot of credit. I can't hate on John Paxson for this. He's putting together this team the way you should. He's not overvaluing guys the way we've seen him do in the past. Let's be honest. And I think it might be because Michael's in there and not so much Jerry this time. Let's be honest, though. Robin Lopez would have an $80 million contract if they were doing things the way they used to, right? Honestly. He'd have an $80 million contract. He'd have a Joakim Noah contract. Not that Joakim didn't deserve the money he got, but Tom Thibodeau had burned his knees out so much, it was over. Wearing them, what were they? They wasn't LaCroix. What were them shoes? The French brand. He was done in Chicago. He didn't have the body for it anymore. Tom Thibodeau's playing him 45 minutes a game. There's only 42 minutes in the game. He's playing them in an overtime. He's telling them to start running before the game starts so he can get warmed up. Suicides right before the game starts. Come on. Vern, I like the picks overall. I think the Bulls' change of staff would benefit and help out the Bulls and help the Bulls out greatly this season because Boylen is going with more balanced offense and defensive approach. You got to. You got to. Listen, if Kobe White's your starter on day one, I don't know if he will be. I think they're going to try and let him get acclimated to the league. I don't think they're going to do a trial by fire kind of thing. But if Kobe White's your starter day one, you got to let him go. Ain't none of this we calling timeouts because he's on a fast break. Let's set up our half-court offense. No. You got to let him go. If he's taking him, who's going to stand in front of him? If he's coming full speed. The only hope is that the center's going to be down there. Listen, both our centers can shoot. So now you got to make a decision. Is your big man on the other team going to be guarding Lowry and Wendell at the 3? Or is he going to stand down there and wait for Kobe White to get there? And that's where the facilitating comes in with Kobe White. Is he able to move that ball? Is he able to move that ball? Baki Yasin. I'm going with that. How many other organizations would allow a GM and president of basketball operations to fail for 16 years and keep their jobs? Well, listen, I won't call the Derrick Rose years failures. I call that injury. I think there's a lot of people around the league, LeBron included, who think that Bulls team might have got one. I think they built they were one player away for sure. That team for sure was one shooting guard away. And they thought it was Kyle Korver. It never materialized. Somebody who could just torch that thing. They were one guy away. And a lot of people feel that way. So I won't call the Derrick Rose years failures, but other than that, yeah, I agree with you. You've been here a long time. You haven't won a championship. You haven't won a championship. Most organizations would have gotten rid of you after year 3. Jerry's a loyal guy. We've seen it in everything he does. That's why he paid Joakim Noah. But they seem to be doing things a little different right now. Robin Lopez ain't getting that $80 million contract. We're not holding on to Bobby Portis. We're not holding on to Jabari Parker because he's a Chicago kid. We're not doing that anymore. Hey, you're traded. You can go. We can find you. We can find another Bobby Portis. And I think they did. Willie Parker, I like the second pick. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Are the Chicago Bulls building a championship roster? Or do we got another feel-good team for the next 5 years? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody for coming in, joining, commenting on the page. Willie Parker, Baki Yasin. I'm sticking with that. I don't know how to say your name, bro. Vern, always in here. Ringo, always in here. Who else was in here today? Shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to all of y'all. David Neal, I see you. Bear down. Sebi and Alive, you know. I appreciate all of y'all for joining. Let me know. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all, if you haven't, subscribe to the page. I know a lot of you have, but if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the page. And honestly, we're trying to grow the page, so please spread the word about Windy City The Breeze, man. We appreciate everybody who's showing love while we're on here, but let people know when we're going live. Share the videos to your Facebook, share the Twitter, all that good stuff. If y'all could do that for us, we would really appreciate it. Vern, I'm going to let you get one more in, Vern. I'm going to let you get one more in. Baki Yasin, that's it? Hey, I'm in here. I don't even know if that's the way I said it last. Baki Yasin. I'm going to write it down, bro. Because you be in here. You be supporting. I appreciate you. Vern, do you think Doug Collins having an increased role in the front office has impacted their decision-making because they've made smarter decisions in the recent past? You know, you bring up Doug Collins a lot, but in this instance, I would say Doug being in their ear and being somebody John trusts because he was a coach. He was a big part of Chicago history. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Doug is in their ear and he's telling you not to overvalue these guys. He's telling you that. Maybe. I can't know. I can't know for certain. But I love how they're going about building the team now. Maybe it's not going to get you a championship. Maybe it's not going to get you a late playoff bid. You know what I'm saying? Playing in the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe not. But you're doing it the right way. You're not overvaluing guys like the Chicago Bulls do every year. So I appreciate everybody who joined, man. Like I said, like the video if you can. We just trying to grow, man. Share to your Facebooks, your Twitters, all of that stuff, man. We appreciate all the love. And if we grow, man, we just going to give back to y'all, especially the people who've been here with us since day one, man. Jay, nice video. Bulls had a nice draft. Appreciate you, Brody. Yeah, Bulls had a decent little draft. I liked it. I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy, Pat, the designer. Let me know in the comments below. So after this video post, let me know also. Because I love this. I love this discussion. Are the Bulls building a championship roster, or is this another feel-good team? As Baki Yasin said, the baby Bulls. I'm going to get up out of here, man. It is your boy, Pat, the designer. Peace, y'all. Y'all stay up.